What's going on, everyone? Vega here for SerpentX Tech, and welcome back to another episode of Caffeine Crypto. The people in power just don't know what the hell they're doing or can't make up their mind. I'm not sure, but got some news to go over. Of course, the market is chilling. We've been sitting at this range for a hot minute now, which is quite unfortunate. But yeah, like the beginning of this week, we started a run up towards that 70K again, getting pushed back down. So the week high was at 699, right? So basically 70.7K. The weekly low looks like 66.8, 66.6K. And just sitting in this range, guys. Just sitting stagnant in this damn range. Like, I want to, like, do something, bro. Do something. But it doesn't exactly help when we had all that positive news last week, and then the Biden administration does an exact opposite. So, yeah. Biden vetoes congressional disapproval of SEC accounting bulletin on crypto assets. Basically, SAB 121. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what Cynthia Loomis responded with, how Wall Street's asked Biden not to veto rejection of SEC crypto policy. Now, we'll talk more about SAB 121, but I don't know, man. I don't know. These people, they confuse me. They confuse me, and I think they confuse themselves, to be completely honest. So I'm going to keep it positive. I still believe in crypto and Bitcoin long term, of course. But I think the U.S. Needs to get their stuff together in order for us to bring back some of the companies that left us if we want to be a dominant player in the crypto space. But either way, Bitcoin breaks to low end of trading range, but June data could be the next catalyst. I'm excited for June. We're going to look at what all of March did. How a person named Peter Brandt says that Bitcoin can be worth 100 ounces of gold. That's quite intriguing. Everyone at Consensus 2024 is talking about Biden's crypto flip-flop. I'm pretty sure everybody's talking about that. Like, bro, make up your mind. Quit messing around. But I think he's old school. I think him and his administration is old school, right? So we kind of need some of the new blood to be in these leadership positions, or at least people that are, maybe they're old school, but they're willing to adapt and understand and learn and educate themselves. As long as they're in those power positions of power, I think that would be a great thing. Bitcoin ETFs aren't winning the hearts and minds of financial advisors. Japan crypto exchange hack, right? DMM Bitcoin suffers $305 million hack. 3 signs that Ethereum price will finally break the 4K in June. CZ getting support from the crypto community. And Ripple CEO says that an ETF is inevitable. And then, of course, going to watch some content from CNBC as we get ready for Red Panda mining at the end of the stream. So I'm honestly, like, I don't have anything like laid out already. I'm going to read some certain parts of news articles, talk about it, but this is all y'all. Like, you guys need to let me know what you're thinking and what you're feeling in the live chat or the comments, because this is just BS. Like, I don't even know anymore. Why are they doing this? Not quite sure. But anyways, on May 31st, Reuters reported that U.S. President Joe Biden on Friday vetoed a congressional disapproval of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission's accounting bulletin on crypto assets. By virtue of invoking the Congressional Review Act, this Republican-led resolution would inoperably constrain the SEC's ability to set forth appropriate guardrails and address future issues. Biden said in a statement released by the White House, thank Crypto Mikkel and everybody that came over from Crypto Mikkel. Like, we got all this positive momentum over the past couple weeks, and yeah, okay. Anyways, Biden vetoes bill overturning SAB 121. says standard necessary for crypto innovation. U.S. President Joe Biden, blah, 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 vetoed establishing accounting standards for the firms and custody crypto. Now, it's a catch-22 for me, because basically SAB 121 is just trying to allow banks to be able to store that crypto. So do we really want the banks to control it? Not really, right? That was the whole point. That was why Satoshi Nakamoto did what he did. So we don't really want the banks to have a large majority of crypto or stuff like that. But them being able to store it, I think, would be positive, because that would just help with mass adoption. So it's kind of a catch-22. Appropriate guardrails that protect consumers and investors are necessary to harness the potential benefits and opportunities of crypto asset innovation, the president said in a letter to the U.S. House. The bulletin had drawn controversy over the past year over concerns that the crypto industry that it could prevent banks from safeguarding digital assets. So, like, going back to this one, appropriate guardrails to protect consumers and investors. Like, what, and correct me if I'm wrong, what has Gary Gensler or the SEC done to protect consumers or investors? Because all I see him doing, and I could be wrong. I'm not a financial expert. I'm not a politician. I'm not a regulator. I'm not a legislator. Like, has he done stuff to protect consumers? Because so far, it just seems he's going around with a band hammer, just smacking everybody in the face that doesn't comply with the old guard's rules. Like, I don't see. All right, I don't. Maybe I'm uneducated, and I'm okay. I want to learn. Teach me. But right now, I don't quite understand this. So my administration, got a quote here from Mr. President, will not support measures that jeopardize the well-being of consumers and investors. Appropriate guardrails that protect consumers and investors are necessary to harness the potential benefits and opportunities of crypto innovation. But going around with a band hammer ain't protecting us. When these institutions reach out to you for guidance and you don't respond, and then you just smack them in the face with a Wells notice and sue them, how are they supposed to learn what's right and what's wrong? If you're trying to apply old rules to new tech, it's not going to work. So we need to adapt those rules. We sit down, let's talk. Gary, sit on that side, I sit on this side. Where did we go wrong? Where did we cross the line? How can we avoid crossing the line? How can we be compliant within the regulations currently outlined? And is there any way to negotiate an update to those regulations, those rules, those procedures, those policies, those processes? Earlier this month, the full House and Senate voted in favor of a measure to repeals the SEC staff's accounting bulletin, also called SAB 121. The House previously voted 228, 182 to pass the measure, with mostly Republicans, though 21 Democrats did sign it. A week later, the Senate voted 60 to 38, with several Democrats, including Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. Okay, I don't know why that was twice in there. Overturning a veto requires 2/3 of the majority from both House of Congress. President Biden had said he would veto the measure. I remember that. I remember he said he would veto in a statement of administrative policy released by the White House last month. Specifically, the White House said that limiting the SEC's ability to maintain a comprehensive and effective financial regulatory framework from crypto assets would introduce substantial financial instability and market uncertainty. I think maybe I'm getting like FIT 121, SAB 121, HA this and HR that, like getting confused. Maybe I know that I am confused. I know that I am uneducated. I am just trying to understand this. But them flip-flopping is making it more confusing. Does that make any sense? Am I making any sense right now? Like them flip-flopping, the administration, the leaders, right? Like, let me put it to you this way. Because I had some time as a leader in various forms. If I'm the leader, leading my group, my platoon, my squad, and I am making decisions that's indecisive or conveys that I do not have confidence in my own decision, then my squad and my platoon, even though most of them would have followed the order anyways, some of them would check me up. Who's going to check up the president? Like, yo, you're wrong about this. You don't understand. But he's surrounded by people, I think, in the administration that are not Some of them are educated, but I just don't think that they're giving him the right information. We do need clear guidelines, but the SEC hasn't done anything to do that. He's just going around hitting everybody with suits. And then when they ask questions, they either get ghosted or they get in more trouble. The old rules, right? Broker dealer, lending house, this, that, and the other, whatever it's called, those rules apply to crypto. But I think some of these institutions actually have a valid concern. Like, no, they don't. But we would love to sit down and have some clarity on it. But his vetoed measures before that passed the Senate and House bipartisan votes. For example, the president vetoed a measure in May to overturn a joint employer rule that had passed the Senate House by bipartisan margins. The bulletin had drawn controversy over the past year over concerns in the crypto industry that it could prevent banks from safeguarding digital assets. It requires firms that custody crypto to record customer crypto holdings and liabilities on their balance sheet. The SEC has said that SAB 121 is a non-binding staff guidance that strengthens disclosures to investors. I think I'm getting these two confused. Somebody needs to correct me. You are confused. You can't have a dialogue with a party in power that only wants to tell you what to do. They don't want your input. That's Tech Man. And I mean, that's accurate. Nerd Beast. I think it's more of the millionaire boomers to be able to be sure when investing in crypto. I think it's more for the millionaire boomers to be able to be more sure when investing in crypto. People that know how to self-custody will do that. People that are scared would have banks. I agree, right? Because we talked about this many times. A lot of people don't want to be responsible for their own financial freedom. They want somebody else to manage it. And when that junk hits the fan, they want somebody to point the finger at. They want somebody to sue. They want somebody to send the dogs after, which is ironic to me. But if you guys grew up and you're around my age bracket, you guys been through 2008. You guys been through the Twin Towers. You guys been through a lot of the turmoil in our youth that make us question whether or not the person that's got the hand on the steering wheel should be driving, right? So anyways, here we got a quote. Time and time again, we have seen crypto firms failed and watched their customers lined up at the bankruptcy court in the hopes of getting what they thought was legally theirs, an SEC spokesman said to the block last month. We have also seen the risk to investors and firms that safeguard these assets when they are hidden off the balance sheet. These disclosures provide investors important line of sight into the level of risk taken by crypto custodians. So, look, I am clearly confused. And when it comes to this, politics, legislation, rules, I am not an expert. I'll be more than happy for somebody to teach me. I'll be more than happy to get some constructive criticism and learn. I love to learn something new every day. I just feel like this flip-flopping is just, it's going to have more of a negative effect on the crypto ecosystem. And I don't think that Gary, because when we say the SEC, it's Gary Gensler and his team. And Gary Gensler and his team hasn't really been doing us any favors, right? So if the SEC is going to rule it and not the CFTC, right, or set the guidelines and be the overseer, then we just need to get somebody new instead of Gary Gensler. Period. But we just need clearer information. Just sit down and talk. Schedule a meeting, sit down and talk. So, what do we got a quote here? All right, so we got a crypto advocate group, the Blockchain Association, says we're disappointed that the admin chose to overrule bipartisan majorities in both houses of Congress who recognized the harm created by SAB 121. The reversal of this considered judgment of the SEC staff in this way risk undercutting the SEC's broader authorities regarding accounting practices, Biden wrote in an official May 31st letter. In response to Congress voting to repeal the cryptocurrency accounting guideline, which requires institutions that custody crypto assets to record crypto holdings or record crypto holdings and liabilities on their balance sheet. Let me read that again. Response to Congress voting to repeal the cryptocurrency accounting guidelines, which require institutions that custody crypto to record crypto holdings as liabilities on their balance sheets. So they got to record crypto holdings. So the crypto they're holding as liabilities on their balance sheet. I mean, technically, you know, I mean, that was the reason why most of the Terra Luna FTX stuff happened, right? They weren't accounting for, they may have known what their reserves were, but they didn't know what their liabilities were. And their liabilities or their debt outweighed the overall company revenue. And then obviously that's going to lead to a bad day for that organization. So, I mean, yeah, centralized authorities, banks should, right, be monitoring and maintaining and managing what their liabilities are. And here's our crypto reserves. Here's the assets separate from, like, these aren't our customers' assets. These are our assets. These are our crypto assets that we have secured through XYZ, separate from customer funds that we are storing securely in an effort to comply with not only regulation, but legislation and policies, separate from our own funds, our own banking institution funds. And then here are our liabilities, right? All of that on a data, on a spreadsheet, on a whatever. So that way, when you're called up, you know, you provide that to them. So, I mean, I do agree with that. But the way that SAB 121 was portrayed to me is it would be harmful towards crypto. Now, granted, you know, I think this news came out yesterday. And what did we fall? So this news came out yesterday, the 31st. So the Friday the 31st. And the market had a high of 69K, but only fell to, well, it did fall $3,000 to 66.6K. But we're already stabilizing at that 67, back at the 67. So maybe it wasn't as harmful as I'm thinking. But I don't know. You guys let me know. You guys educate me, because this is crazy. Now, let's see what we got here. Biden vetoes. I'm going to open this here in a second, see what Wendy's saying. But Senator Cynthia Loomis says, we will not stand idly by as this admin attempts to skirt the law. I will continue to fight to promote financial innovation and key protections for crypto assets. This administration, right, the presidential administration, seems hell-bent on stifling. Sorry. My statement on the president's decision to veto SAB 121. They say here that the SEC should never use staff accounting bulletins to determine policies, especially for industry that it does not regulate. Yet, that is the new norm under President Biden's leadership. Congress gave this administration the opportunity to correct its position on crypto assets, but instead of listening to the will of the American people and reining in the SEC, President Biden doubled down on his administration's failed policies at the expense of the American consumers. I will not stand idly by as the administration attempts to skirt the law, and I will continue to fight to promote financial innovation, keep protection for crypto assets, and administration hell-bent on stifling it. So, like, yeah. Let's see what Wendy's saying. Has Wendy got something to say? I saw her picture. Let's go back here. Let's just go to her page. Like, I need education. And I haven't had the time to freaking properly do it. All right, so the SEC job is to be an absolute nightmare to retail instead of protecting us. Oh, okay, that was from March 7th. Did she say anything about the president? All right, the Biden administration is absolutely moronic when it comes to crypto. They literally hate us and want the entire industry to move overseas. 100. Like, why are we pushing crypto and crypto firms away, guys? Like, we got to stop this. And I said, I'm going to read a tweet that I posted the other day. they need to get their ish are going to make the USA lag behind. All right, let me read to you what I posted. You guys tell me where I'm wrong, okay? All right. So pure speculation on my part. I don't work in the financial, government, banking, or political sectors, but I believe the 180 or about face the government, Fed, regulators did are partially motivated by them realizing playing nice with Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, Ethereum would be the best way to boost the economy and stave off the looming recession. Had the crypto markets not have been as mature as they are now or around during the past few years, I believe the economic situation would be much worse than it currently is. Additionally, of course, they both saw the level of voters who are now in crypto who would sway the election in their favor. Again, talking nonsense, but probably but I remember my mom losing all her funds in 0809. So sorry if I don't trust centralized authorities, but this time I'm going to do my best to make sure that my family gets their own financial freedom off the hard work of the suits this time. I know I'm not going to be around forever. I'm uncertain about my 401k being there. So I'm trying to do my best to get my family something. That's basically what it boils down to. But at the rate that we're going and the direction that we're headed with the current administration, the play that I put most of my eggs, not all of my eggs, into is not going to be a good play because they're gonna crap on it. However, I still don't believe there's no way for them to kill Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's going to be around, but like they're going to crap on some of the other coins. I just know we need to get rid of Gary, man. We need to get rid of Gary. I'm stoked for the CFTC to be the police of the crypto industry, not the SEC. Not unless Gary's out. If Gary's out, then maybe the SEC would do good because there are some people in the SEC that I like. But anyways, lobbying groups for U.S. Bank sent President Joe Biden a letter asking him to change his mind on his threat to veto the congressional effort to overturn SAB 121. Members of Congress did too. Now, this, I think, was written on 5/26. So this was yesterday at 5:26 p.m. When was this written? This was written at 7-something p.m. 16 hours ago. So Wall Street and Congress are like, yo, like, chill, bro. Chill. Like, don't kill this. Chill. And I guess we're not going to get the way we want. Wall Street banks and members of Congress are asking President Joe Biden to reverse course on how his vow to veto the U.S. congressional resolution to overturn the U.S. Securities or SEC's accounting policy. The recent bipartisan votes, blah, blah, blah. SAB 121 effectively precludes regulated banking organizations from offering digital asset custody at scale since it treats the asset as if they are owned rather than simply custodied by the bank organization. According to the letter on Biden Friday, signed by several groups, including the American Bankers Association, Financial Services Forum, institutions that are forced to record custodial digital assets on a balance sheet are subject to higher capital, liquidity, and other prudential requirements. Unlike their non-bank competitors. Rescinding SAB 121 is well within the SEC's authority, and there is ample precedence for revisiting a staff accounting bulletin. The letter said, in fact, most of the staff accounting bulletins over the last 3 decades have been revisions and rescissions of prior guidance. Not saying like I give up, but like this, over the past, and this isn't the only thing that's going on right now in the life, but like all the crap, like we're in a bull market. Like if we just zoom out, we're in a bull market, y'all. But this stuff just drives me up the wall. Like, what the hell? So anyways, I need more education. I'd be more than happy to have somebody either come on the channel or call me and talk to me privately and properly educate me on the way things are going in the political atmosphere. I haven't been able to follow Dennis Porter, but Dennis Porter is a good one to follow. There's a few of them to follow. We do have good people in higher up positions, whether it's the banking sector, the financial sector, the political sector, the legislative sector. We do have good people in those higher up positions, but I kind of feel like we're outnumbered still, right? It's growing. Crypto's getting adopted. Things are getting better, but we're still outnumbered and we still are not in those higher up positions. And honestly, this is probably going to turn more people, despite a conviction on Mr. Trump. This is probably going to still turn people to Mr. Trump because of his pro-crypto rhetoric and attention that he's been giving it. So Biden, I thought he was going to try to use, like, he saw Trump do it, so he was going to try to be like, oh, like, I like crypto too, just so he can get those votes back or sway them back. But I guess Biden is still strong in his stance. Like, he liked crypto, but he thinks that there needs to be more clarity. But then when we ask for clarity, we just get smacked with a lawsuit. Anyways, you guys let me know. Smack me down in the comments, the live chat, because I clearly don't fucking understand. Bitcoin breaks to the low of the trading range, but June data could be the next catalyst. The price of Bitcoin is traded in an exponentially tight range, and I agree with that. Surrounded around the 67, high 67K for days following the U.S. Memorial holiday, but declined near the week's low on Friday morning trading hours. At 11:45 a.m., Bitcoin was changing hands at 67.3, lower than 1% over the past 24 hours, down by more than 2% from the 2 hours earlier when it briefly rose to 69K. The broader CoinDesk 20 was down 1.1% over the last day. May though has been strong for Bitcoin, which is now higher. And there's an ad about to play. I'm going to try to skip it. There we go. I saved y'all. Which is now higher by 11% since the beginning of the month at around 60K level. That's underperformed the CoinDesk 20 roughly 20% advance, fueled by 31% gain price of Ether, thanks to the surprising regulatory turnaround on the prospects for a spot ETF for the asset. Now that ETF is still ongoing, and we can see Ethereum is still at that 38K. Let's go look at it actually real quick. See what's popping off with Ethereum. Let's use Bitstamp. So on the 20th, we talked about this last week. You know, all that ETF news. But since then, we've been trading in this range. Let's see here. The low was 35.38. The high was 97 or 30. Yeah, excuse me, 397. So almost 4K. We almost hit 4K. You know, not near its previous all-time high, but I definitely think we could break that if an Ethereum ETF, not financial advice, if an Ethereum ETF is completed or goes through. I could see us, let's zoom out here, right? So the previous all-time high was around that 4.8, almost 4.9 range. If an ETF is approved, I could definitely see us, let me go over here real quick, all right? Let's say we sit where we're at, let's say 3,700, somewhere in there, a little bit lower than where we are right now at 38. ETF gets approved. Over time, not all at once, so don't get greedy. I see us getting up to about this right here. So that would put us at the 72. Let me do that again because it clocked off. But if I move out of your way, that would put us around the 7,200 mark. That's what I'm eyeing, right? The inflows will happen over time, not in this short range. This is just giving you a guide. So almost a 90, almost 80% increase in price on Ethereum. I think that's certainly within the realm of possibility, considering the previous all-time high was at 48, right? If we were to double that, obviously that would be a lot higher, 9,000 something, right? 9,600. but I'm definitely eyeing that 7,200 range as my first of many plays as we run up. Now, I know many of you, and matter of fact, I would like to ask this question. Let me go ahead and post this poll right now, if you don't mind. Bear with me 1 second. I want to know, do you still own some ETH from your mining ventures? And it doesn't matter if you're like a small at-home miner or a big operation or whatever. I don't care, right? Whatever your mining venture was, I want to know. Never got in. Don't dox yourself. Don't ever tell people how much you own of a particular asset. You can tell them percentages, but don't tell them the whole thing. All right? Don't make yourself a target. But I do want to know, you know, do you still have some of that Ethereum that you mined, right? That's what I'd be interested to know. So that poll is out. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts. Moving on, macro conditions could provide the next catalyst. The week's muted action in Bitcoin, the price has essentially stayed around that 67, so Bitcoin's basically stagnant, right? While still remaining close to all-time high, the Nasdaq is lower by 2% this week, while the S&P is off by 1.5%. The U.S. economic data continued to have a scent of stagflation, with the April core PCE price index up 2.8% year over year, in line with the expectations at the same pace as the previous month. The May Chicago PMI plunged 35.2, 35.4 versus the expectations of 41 and 37.9 in April. Only in the depths of the 2008-2009 global financial crisis and the March-April 2020 COVID lockdowns has May week read been matched. That's partially why my tweet mentions the 2008-2009. It's like, I think, let me just be stupid, okay? I'm just going to be stupid. I think if the USA had a positive take on crypto and utilize crypto in a positive light and not try to stifle it or scare people away or industries or innovators away, that it could help us avoid stagflation and what many people still believe we're going to go into, a recession. Again, I'm not a financial expert, but like, people have been calling for a recession for a while. The numbers are doing the opposite, like unemployment, so on and so forth, but still people believe that we could head towards a recession. If we head towards a recession, that's not only going to bring the traditional markets down, but that's also going to bring crypto down. But I think if we had a positive take and try to be the leader in crypto here in the US, I believe we could avoid all that. But of course, our administrator or our leaders are flip-flopping, so I can't tell you heads or tail of anything. Anyways, June begins Saturday, which we're on right now. Happy June. Hope you glad you made it through March. Monthly most profitable cryptocurrency to mine coming out soon. Stay tuned. Next week. And then they go on to say here that June begins Saturday, and next week should bring a bit more clarity to the U.S. economic picture, thanks to Monday's national PMI report and Friday's national employment report, confirming the softening of economic conditions. And with those improved prospects for lower interest rates, might prove to be the catalyst for Bitcoin to attempt to breach the all-time high of 73K back in March. So we're looking for a catalyst, and June might be that month. Now, personally, I think the run-up, right? Like, if we're going to start marching and break a new all-time high and start that run-up to that 125K, 150K price range that I'm looking for in Bitcoin, I think it would not maybe all happen in June, right? Like, we're on the daily right now, but let's say that, you know, we kind of stay stagnant in this range. Oh, I need my pen, not that. Let me get rid of this. Let's say we are, you know, we're stagnant in this range, so we bounce around still for a little bit and then break out and slowly, you know, run up further and further. Would you stop? Unz, Control Z. Why can't I get rid of you? That's so weird. My mouse messing up? All right. Anyways, point being is I could see it being not in June, but like July, August, September, leading into the holidays. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, there we go. So sit, chill, be stagnant. Yeah, my mouse is messing up. Clearly, it's messing up. I hate this mouse. I should have just stayed with my Logitech G502 Lightspeed. So where would that put us? Yeah, that would put us around my birthday. So sometime around my birthday is when I'm expecting us to move forward. But we'll see. Answer the poll for me. This is a weird one. Bitcoin to be worth 100 ounces of gold, says veteran trader Peter Brandt. How much is gold right now? Let's see here. Gold prices. So, okay. 23.47. How much is 100 ounces of gold? So the price of a 100-ounce gold bar may vary. Wow, but the site listed as, I think that's Canadian, $331,000. Let me just get an OZ. Let me just get an OZ. 100-ounce gold. Yeah, that amount of money, I'm pretty sure they want you to go ahead and buy from some official sources. How much? Convert gold 24 karat ounce to US dollar. So, yeah, so that's $234,000. So, under 250. So that's a $250,000. All right. So, what are you saying here? So, Bitcoin to be worth. Okay. Really? Seasoned trader Peter Brandt recently issued a price prediction for Bitcoin, claiming that decentralized digital asset could surge 230% against gold. Brandt claimed that the ratio of gold to Bitcoin would fluctuate for the next 12 to 18 months before finally climbing to a new all-time high of 100 ounces of gold per Bitcoin. So this is this chart. Interesting. It's BTC USD versus, and on the chart, I think it says GC11. Since its inception, Bitcoin has gained against gold. This chart shows the number of ounces of GCF to buy one Bitcoin. The ratio should chop for the next 12 to 8 months, then advance to 100 ounces of GC to buy a Bitcoin. What say you, Peter Schiff? And Peter Schiff's like the true gold bug. That is very interesting to me. While it remains to be seen if Brandt's prediction will be proven true, a comparison of the price history of Bitcoin and gold suggests that his comments are not baseless or unrealistic. So it's in the realm of possibility. Since its inception, Bitcoin has been gaining against gold, but finally overtook the precious metal in terms of price in 2017. During the year, Bitcoin peaked at almost 20K in December 17th. When gold resumed trading on December 18, 2017, the commodity reached a price of $1,200. Matter of fact, I remember my colleague at my job way back in, I think, 2017 was trying to get me to get into gold at, I think, sub $1,100. I should have. Because considering the price was where it is now, that would have been a good play, but it would have been a long-term play. So it just depends on your risk tolerance and what you're trying to do. Like if you're trying to do long-term plays, like you're going to put this money in something and you're never going to see it again until you're ready to go on vacation when you're 67 years old, then, S&P 500, gold, maybe some of those, whatchamacallit, 401k plans that are like vested in good mix of bonds and all this other stuff. And it's like, it has like a time frame for when you're going to retire, and so like it will continue to adjust and reallocate over time. Like those are your good long-term plays. Bitcoin is a good long-term play. Like if I was my younger self, I would have went all in on Bitcoin but now I'm more diversified than ever before, with a good percentage in Bitcoin, but not all in Bitcoin. Like just trying to spread my weight out and trying to gain as much ground as I possibly can. Again, thinking of my family, not so much my wallet, right? Always taking care of business, handling my bills, doing what I need to for my family. But then when I got a little extra, I diversify in some form or fashion, right? So since then, the price of Bitcoin has managed to stay well above the price of gold during the lowest point of 2018, 2019 bear market when Bitcoin plummeted to a low of 3K. And by the way, that 3,200 right there, I remember that day, and I will never forget that day. That was probably the best day of my life. My son was performing, and while that sucker was dropping, I was buying. Now, I wasn't big money, right? Like, you and I, we ain't big money, right? So $20 here, $10 here, $20 there, $50 there. Like, but, you know, accumulating as that sucker was going down and hit that level, that was a pretty good day for the people that were in Bitcoin. Maybe everybody else ran away from Bitcoin because of the Black Thursday or Black whatever, during that COVID day, right? Everything was panicky. You know, that was a good day to gobble up while everybody else was running away. When everybody's fearful, be greedy. When everybody's greedy, be fearful. Not financial advice, but that's just common terms in the space. So we'll see. I'm gonna check chat here in just a second. If you got any ats pointing me to something, let me know, brother, sisters, wherever you are at. It's been a rough week this week, but I'm not trying to think about it right now. I'll deal with it later. Yeah. So basically, a positive indicator that Bitcoin can outweigh gold and probably, you know, take over. But I think, and I'm not a Bitcoin maxi, but Bitcoin does make a majority of the spread, the portfolio. So I'm down. Like, I got a little bit of gold in the safe at a centralized entity, which is kind of stupid, but whatever. Like, I'm just trying to diversify myself. I don't know how. I don't think anybody knows what the best play is. Everybody's gonna tell you where to put your money. You put your money wherever the hell you want to put your damn money. It's your money. Like, stop letting mofos tell you what to do with your money. It's your money. You do what you want. You take information from bits and pieces, different people that you like, different people that I hope that you trust, and not just listen to some random guy off the internet. And just, you know, take bits and pieces of data information and then make your own decision. So everyone at Consensus 2024, which has happened this past week, is talking about the Biden crypto flip-flop. Is he for real? And I can say that we're talking about it. You know, we're trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Why is he doing this, right? And I don't know. I don't know if he's being fed information that's not the full picture. I don't know if Gary Gensler is telling him, Mr. President, you know, we can't let banks get away with this because they'll just play dirty. Maybe the banks will play dirty. Maybe he's trying to protect the investor. But all the information and all the actions that I've seen from Mr. Gensler has not been in the best interest of the retail investor. It might be in the best interest for the large majority, but not the retail investor. And he keeps saying that like he's just trying to protect investors and stuff like that. But which investors are we talking about? Are we talking about oil money investors? Are we talking about like what specifically? Because every action that he's taken, I feel like hasn't been in our best interest. But maybe they just don't want anything to compete with the US dollar, the almighty dollar. Who's to say? But yeah, you know, you got Trump, despite the conviction, getting followers, possible votes, just because of his cryptocurrency, his pro-cryptocurrency stance. You got Biden kind of turning off people in crypto. All I can tell you is don't make a decision just because one person's like crypto or doesn't like crypto. You need to look at the full picture. How does this... what sucks is I feel like it's, again, for every freaking year that I've been voting, it's the lesser of two evils. You always got to pick... They're both shitty, but you always got to pick one. And so it's like the lesser of two evils. So don't care about your political stance. That is for you and your family. What I care about is you making sure you're taking in the full picture before you make a decision. Don't be like, oh, he likes crypto, so I'm going to vote for him. Or he doesn't like crypto, so I'm going to vote for him. Take the full picture. Does their policies, their guidelines, the way they run things fit and what you want or what you want from your president? So for the rest of us that are not in the U.S., I don't give a damn about the U.S. The U.S. is messed up right now. We look like idiots. And I don't like looking like an idiot. I've been made to look like an idiot many times, especially lately. I'm not happy. But I'm going to keep grinding. And I believe in Bitcoin in the long term. So we'll see what's going on. Bitcoin ETFs aren't winning the hearts and minds of financial advisors. I don't think they're going to win the hearts and minds of financial advisors until we get some clear guidance from our leadership that's going to make a positive indicator that, hey, yeah, banks can get in the game. ETFs are going to get approved. We're going to use crypto and blockchain to take us to the next level so that way we can be the leading country as we are trying to be. But we're going to get surpassed by China if we don't step up our game. I'm just being real. Like, if we do not step up our game, the U.S. will be passed by China. What is that guy's name? Ray Dalio, right? Empires up and down. Start off with the Spanish. Or was it the French? Ooh, history teacher's going to kill me. And then Britain. And then the U.S. Like, it's coming up next. And that next country is either going to be it for the next 100+ years, or we're not going to be it anymore. Now, would I be mad if the U.S. was no longer the main country, you know, that the world uses the U.S. dollar to trade off? I don't think so, because I think I'm going to be diversified enough to that the U.S. dollar isn't important to me. Like, when was the last time I had cash? I can't remember. Like, everything is digital now, right? You use your card to buy. You buy and sell online. Even when you're not online, you just bump your phone, you bump your smartwatch, you just take your card out, got the chip, tap the card. Like, I don't remember the last time I used the dollar, but everything is pegged to the dollar still. But China and Russia got their own crew coming together where they're trying to not use the US dollar as the reserve currency. And I think us doing this and the administration flip-flopping is going to be the catalyst to what makes other countries join them and be like, hey, you know, instead of using the US dollar, we're going to use whatever this currency is, whatever they decide. So if we want to stay the number one country, we need to stop being a dick to fucking blockchain and cryptocurrencies. Just for real. Bitcoin ETF holdings, meh, right? Like, do you really care? Gray BTC finally like leveled off. IBIT climbing, but it's kind of getting stagnant. FBTC kind of same thing. Like, everybody's just flattening out, right? We're just chilling now. And I think we're going to continue to chill until, again, the administration, after the election, the presidential election, we'll see where things go and go from there. And I think that presidential election is going to be what decides when Bitcoin will hit its all-time high. I think right now everybody's scared. And whenever we're making a run up to the 70K area, something pushes us down. No. We're not ready yet. Shh. Wait. We're not ready yet. Hang on, Bitcoin. We're not ready. I'm going to push you down, keep you there, chill out. Everybody, the institutions and some of the big players are just accumulating, and then rocket ship. And we're going to rocket ship, and then people are going to get taken off guard, and then they're going to be like, oh, I missed out. I should have got in. And it's like, dude, we've been telling you to get in for, like, ever. Like, you don't listen, bro. I'm not sure if anybody that watches this channel plays around with this exchange, but there was a crypto exchange hack. So that's 4,500 Bitcoin stolen from the exchange. The DMM Bitcoin said it will guarantee the full amount stolen. All spot buys have been temporarily restricted, and customers withdrawing yen may face delays. DEM Bitcoin, a Japanese cryptocurrency exchange. Let's go see if we can look that up real quick, because I know Red Panda's coming on soon. Where is your website? Bitcoin.dmm. Can we go to it? Oh! Can we not go to it? What's the exchange name? Is there an official website? Maybe the website's down? I don't know. All right. So anyways, does anybody use this exchange? So it lost 48 billion yen, or 305 million worth of Bitcoin following a hack. Measures have been taken to avoid unauthorized outflows. Data provided by the security firm BlockSec shows that the hacker divided up stolen Bitcoin across 10 wallets in batches of 500. Please be assured that we will procure the equivalent amount of Big TC equivalent to the outflow with the support of group companies and guarantee the full amount. How are you going to guarantee the full amount? That's a lot of money, Holmes. The exchange has restricted all spot buys on the platform and added Japanese yen withdrawals. May take more than usual time. More than 473 million have been lost in cryptocurrency hacks in 2024 prior to this theft, which is the second largest in Japan, as CoinCheck was hacked for 58 billion yen in 2018. I'm sure I'm going to hear more about this in certain nooks and crannies of the internet. If I learn more about it and you know, the peeps are cool with me sharing, I will let you know. But yeah, if you're running an exchange and you ain't got your ish together, you're just putting a big bullseye on your back, bro. You need to get your stuff together. 3 signs that Ethereum price will finally break 4K. Let's see what the 3 signs are. Falling wedge breakout has ETH price eye in 4K. So falling wedge breakout. We already did the breakout. If you look, right. So here's the wedge, top line, bottom line. We already broke out. So that's 1. 2 is Ethereum's richest whales accumulate ETH, right? So we got whales going in and accumulating ETH. We can see that here in the chart. SEC rumored to reconsider spot Ether ETF denial, says analyst, right? So I think the genie's out of the box, or the lamp. But I think people are accumulating as much as they can before the Ether ETF approval. SEC may approve spot Ether ETF in June. Now, when was this written? This was written 1 hour ago. So we'll see how things go. Remember, just because it is proved doesn't mean it's going to be instantly money market. What will happen is people that's buying will be buying off of the news, not so much the inflows. The inflows will happen over time. So just be patient. So let's close this poll and see how many of you still have your Ethereum that you mine. So do you still own some ETH from mining ventures, from your mining ventures, right? Whether you're big, small, or different. 60% says no. Most of you guys got out of Ethereum when they switched over because the merge kind of pissed us off. 40% say yes. And then 0% say never got in. That's very interesting. I'm probably going to do this poll also on Twitter. Now, Golden Wolf asks, what's up, Geeks of All Trade? Golden Wolf asks, so it's still time to take out of my house Helco and put 35K in BTC? No, dude, don't do that. Don't do that, Golden Wolf. I hope you're being silly. Don't do that. Don't do that. Never bet the farm, guys. Never bet the farm. But I mean, like, we know Bitcoin isn't going anywhere. If my government try to shut off the internet, we will just turn it back on. And you know who I mean by we. Like, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Must be JoJo getting home. Yep. Let me see if he's still out there. Nope, he got in. Cool beans. Some out for summer vacation. 1 more year left. Ooh, in high school. I'm proud of him. Got his welding license. He's certified in welding, and he's gonna get some more certifications. Joey's doing really good. Really proud of him. CZ getting some support. I don't know what you guys think of CZ, but he's getting some support as his jail term starts. And Ripple CEO says an ETF is inevitable. So we'll see what's going on. Now, I think Red Panda Mining is going to be going live here shortly. Let's see here. Where's Red at? Yep, he's going to be going live here shortly. I'm hanging out. I'm not going to speak on some aspects that we've been dealing with. Some of you may or may not know. That's all offline. There's a meeting later. If you know what I'm talking about, just join that meeting later today or later tonight. Otherwise, I'm not speaking on it publicly until I get to speaking with the crew, the community, I'm still trying to do what I can to have a positive impact on the crypto ecosystem. I always try to. I always think of others before I act. That's how I'm going to continue to operate. That's the way my mama raised me. And all I'm trying to do is help somebody in this world, whether it's you or somebody else, a friend, a family member, it does not matter. That's what I love to do. That's what I'm going to continue to do. Now, I can't speak on the GARI network, Disclosure Capital, but we're going to play this CNBC video and hang out for a minute while we wait for Red Panda. Looking at this network, let's see here. Let's go to all. Token was starting to get tracked in 2022 of January. Okay. It's got a number of okay-ish exchanges, right? We're not talking top tier exchange, but it's in some, like Kraken's pretty big up there, Mexi, HTX, OKX, so on and so forth. So it's got a good spread of exchanges. It's a Solana cryptocurrency worth around 2 cents right now. Market cap is it's under 10 million. 24-hour volume is less than 2 million. So it's not new, but if you look at this flat line right here, that's not good. Okay, that's not good. You know, what is the team doing to kind of invoke or spur on innovation? Well, I guess we'll have to see. You know, world's largest Web3 audio and video streaming platform. You know, these platforms have been trying to get traction, but what happens is they tend to fail in the face of YouTube and Twitch and stuff like that. I think if Apple or one of the other big streaming services were to partner with a blockchain application or media streaming service, that will be the catalyst. Whether or not they're going to invest in it and then like actually properly like push it out to their user base will be good to see. But a Solana token, right? So we got a Solana contract here. Let's see what their followers on Twitter are. Okay, so they got a good follower. They're followed by Mario and Ron. So, I mean, all the signals are there that this project has a good group behind it. The price is killing me, right? That's a flat line right there, my friend. So what is the project going to do to try to draw interest to it? What new is popping? What's going to bring the users, bring the people to listen to that audio and to that videos or to create new and stuff like that? The biggest struggle I have as a content creator is if I leave YouTube, I get wrecked, right? I tried other decentralized streaming services and I just keep getting wrecked. So it just sucks. All right, Red Panda Mining is going live. Let's listen to this first little bit of the CNBC video. It's at Consensus, and I'll send you guys over there.
Marco Santori, Kraken's chief legal officer, breaks down the latest in the SEC's lawsuit against the crypto exchange. And Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse also sits down with us from Consensus to explain why the blockchain firm doubled its...
FTX fucked it for everybody, man. FTX fucked it for everybody. So let's zoom in, right? Let's zoom in. Let's look at the last year, right? So it's been bouncing between 4 cents and 2 cents. You know, how many people do they have on their platform? Like, this is something that I'm interested in, but not something that I would definitely like bet the farm on in order to get in. We need a streaming platform so that way I can stop relying on YouTube and other centralized authorities that keep screwing me over. I will say that 100%.
Contribution to a pro-crypto super PAC.
No problem, Crypto Pounder 4. You're welcome.
Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Mackenzie Sigalos here in Austin, Texas for the final day of Consensus 2024. Let's get a check of the markets before we get to some of our interviews here. Crypto prices in the red to end the week and the month of May, with Bitcoin dropping back to the $67,000 level as of noon Eastern. Ether dipped less than 1% to $3,741, and Solana fell more than 2% to $164. Now, crypto's moves lower come as the Fed's preferred inflation gauge rose 0.2% in April, in line with Wall Street's expectations. Major cryptocurrencies are lower for the week, with Bitcoin down nearly 3%. For the month, however, crypto is in the green, with Bitcoin climbing more than 12% and Ether soaring a whopping 27% after the SEC...
Yeah, we're still in the bull market.
...change last week, paving the way for spot Ether ETF.
Yeah, we're still in the bull market, but I need the U.S. and the leadership in the U.S. to chill the heck out because we're just sitting stagnant. We're chilling. We're trying to see what the U.S. leadership's going to do before we do our moon pump.
Kraken's chief legal officer, to discuss the SEC's approach of regulation by enforcement, the latest in the agency's lawsuit against the crypto exchange, and what happens next. So much to cover, from a lot of the legislation that's winding its way through Congress to what seems like a softening stance from the SEC. And I do want to start there with the commission. A lot of moves in your case recently. I think the most recent filing was to, again, try to dismiss the case altogether ahead of your hearing on June 12th. How are you feeling about the status of all that?
Look, this is a case that never should have been brought. It was about 1 year ago I testified on behalf of my client, Kraken, that the SEC would have to share the jurisdiction it was claiming over crypto with other federal agencies, like the CFTC. We don't think they like that because exactly 1 day later, almost down to the hour, we got the call saying they were going to sue us. We don't think this is a case that ever should have been brought, and as a result, we're moving to dismiss it. We put in our moving papers a little while back. The SEC responded. We had one last chance to reply. Now the case is fully briefed. So in a few weeks, we'll go in front of the judge of the Northern District of California, and we'll make our oral arguments. We'll actually argue before the court the same things we argued in our moving papers. The SEC will have a chance to rebut, and there will be a live argument, just like there was in Coinbase, just like there was in Binance. They're similar cases.
How confident are you that the judge will dismiss the case?
Look, judges are reluctant to dismiss cases at the early stages, particularly when they're brought by the government. We have a lot of faith in our government usually. We don't think this is a case that ever should have been brought. This is a case that is more politics than it is policy. We like to think the court's going to see that as well.
And see, that's the thing. That's the thing. As I get ready to send you over to Red Panda, that's the thing for me. Where is Red Panda? All right, I'm still going. I'm going to send him over here and just to send you guys over there. I was trying to just eat up some of your time before he goes, actually starts live streaming. But going back to this, like, people do have a lot of faith in the government, and they think that the government is suing something or going after somebody, the government's probably right. And the resources the government has can really cripple a company that or entity that they're going after. Not all the time. Not Apple, not Google, not the big giant companies, right? Because, you know, they crap money. But when you have an exchange like this in crypto, even though they do have substantial money, they're not a Google, they're not an Apple, they're not an Nvidia, right? So the government resources can outstrip these guys and put them in a really binding place if they don't dismiss this, which unfortunately, while he believes they think they will dismiss, I think that they won't. Because the Gary Gensler just wants to put the clamps down on us. He just wants to put the clamps, right? In Futurama, the clamps.
Now, you mentioned Coinbase also dealing with its own legal battle with the SEC. Part of their argument has been, you know, they listed, they went public, they jumped through all of the hoops necessary with the SEC in order to do that, and now being accused of operating an unregistered securities exchange seems to be a contradiction of all the due diligence that went through the listing process. And I guess my broad question to you is, are you talking to any of the other exchanges as you all fight similar battles with the commission?
Yes. Yes. Short answer is yes, we are. I wouldn't say we're coordinating or anything like that, but we have to know what's going on in those other cases. The country has to know what's going on in those other cases. So what you'll see is that the Coinbase case is a superset of our case. So there are more issues at issue in the Coinbase case than there are in our case. The SEC is suing Coinbase for example, staking, for their staking program. They're not suing us because we settled our claims with the SEC on staking.
All right, Red's actually streaming. I'm not sure why I was behind. So you guys head on over there. Have yourself a great day. And for some of you, I'll see you in the Discord later tonight. No idea what the heck is going on, but we'll get to the bottom of it together. You have yourself a great day. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'll catch you next week for another episode of Caffeine and Crypto. Actually, I won't, because I'll be spending some time with the family and taking my nephews out for their birthday to Legoland. Yeah, you guys have yourself a great day. Hit the like button on the way out. Make sure to get subscribed. Hit the notification bell to stay up to date. Just follow me on Twitter for any updates if I do go live or I don't. But I say I'm kind of down because the way my presidency and the administration is going. I have a positive outlook on Bitcoin, but I'm just kind of down because they're just causing this stagnation. When if they could just see how great blockchain can be and how they can integrate it into the various functions of the world, how much beneficial it could be, and scaring the innovators and the developers and these projects out of the U.S. into other countries, just going to make them stronger and us weaker. Not that I want U.S. to be like all dominant or anything like that, but I just want the world to continue to improve. And I think crypto and blockchain is a way to do that or to accomplish that. But you let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. You take care. Have yourself a wonderful day. I'll catch you in the next one.
As a crypto miner, you know you want your equipment to be high quality. Proper cable management is part of your mining rig, and the Veteran Miner has you covered. The Veteran Miner cables are created with the best materials to ensure they are of the highest quality. Our cables are made of 16-gauge tin copper, ensuring another layer of protection from oxidation and corrosion. We support our products with a 100% guarantee. Visit our website at www.theveteranminer.com and get the best cables for your mining setup.